I cut the check, I cut the check, I cut the check. Tell my niggas we up next, so we up next. She shot a text, she shot a text, she shot a text. Kill the I might put the different day, put a nigga on that same shit. I've been ballin' with my niggas, Kevin Cambridge. Oh, you drippy, but you better tuck your chain quick.
What's good, y'all? We back with another episode of Between the Lines. Before I want to start the video, I want to say thanks for all the support. Just like, subscribe, share with your friends so we can get more views, get more people to the channel. I'm trying to at least get 100 subscribers by the start of the summer. So help me out here. We're at 25. Been at 25 for a long time, but we've been getting a decent amount of views lately. Just couldn't get the subscribers. So just help me out with the subscribers. And second of all, I want to say happy birthday to me. It's my birthday. Thank you. But I just wanted to get that out there. Happy birthday to me. Thanks for all the love and support from everybody. It's helped me a lot. But yeah, going into this video, I just wanted to talk about a couple of topics that should be big topics around the league. My first topic is I want to talk about Thaddeus Young. Now that's an odd name to start off a show, any show. No offense to him, but that's an odd name to start off a show. The reason why I want to talk about Thaddeus Young is I feel like Thaddeus Young can change a lot of things. If you put Thaddeus Young on a lot of these contending teams, it will help out so much. If you put Thaddeus Young on the Suns, I would really consider them as a title contender. Like right now with their regular team, they're really good, but I don't really consider them as a title contender. If you put Thaddeus Young on this team, I consider him a title contender. So if you don't know who Thaddeus Young is, he's been a decent player all his life. All his whole career, he's been a decent player. Just never really got to that all-star level. But he's been a really solid player. And he really helps a lot of teams that he goes to. He helped the Pacers, helped the 76ers when they're in that trusted process rebuild. And now he's helping the Bulls, and they're in the playoffs. So he's been a really good, decent player, a great veteran. A great vet. I said veteran. A great vet. This year, he's only averaging 11, 5 points, and 4 assists. And it's crazy because he's only averaging 4 assists, but he's their best playmaker. As far as getting assists and like creating plays for the team, he's their best playmaker. And I just feel like on many teams he can help out with so much, because not even just on the offensive side, like he can do literally a lot of things on the offensive side. Like I said, he can play make, he can shoot. Sometimes he can create for his own. But on the defensive side, I see that's where he really shines. Thaddeus Young is a player that can go out there and guard 3 to 5. Like I've seen times where he's guarding LeBron, he's guarding KD. So he guarded LeBron in that one playoffs when the Pacers almost beat the Cavs. He guarded LeBron that whole series. Him and Bogdan, they guarded LeBron the whole series. And they did a pretty good job on him. It's just LeBron. You're not really going to shut down LeBron. But yeah, if you put him on a lot of these teams, he can help out so much just with the defensive part. Like, you look at the Mavericks. They might not be a contender right now, but I feel like they're literally one piece away. And everybody's like, it has to be a big star. And you might be right, but like, this Kristaps thing, I'm going to talk about that later. That's another topic I want to add. But this whole Kristaps thing, I feel like his only problem is he's just not good on defense. And the injuries is starting to get on him. And it always comes when he's shining. Like I said, in the bubble last year, he was averaging close to 30 and 15. So, and then an injury came right after that. So, the injury stopped him. And then when you look at him, he's not that type of person that likes to be in the paint. He likes to be on the outside, and then especially on defense, he's really slow coming off the pick and roll, and it's so easy to post him up because he's small. Like you seen a couple weeks ago, he was getting bodied by Enes Kanter. If you put Thaddeus Young on this team, I feel like it doesn't really take that much away from this team as far as like the trade pieces you're gonna have to trade for him, and it's gonna help out in the long run. He fits with their scheme. He's a big man that's able to spread the floor. He can also help with playmaking. He can take the ball out of Luka's hands sometime when Luka's not on the floor. And he can guard those big men that Kristaps has trouble guarding. Like, Thaddeus Young will not have trouble guarding Enes Kanter like Kristaps had. So that would be a really good player that they should pick up. The Clippers, the Suns, like I said, they need to. A lot of teams need to think about picking up Thaddeus Young. I'm pretty sure he's liking what he's doing over there in the Bulls. Because like he said in this interview with Zach LaVine, he said their main goal was to get Zach LaVine in the All-Star game and get the Bulls in the playoffs. And they're almost in the play. They're actually like the AC right now. So I'm pretty sure he's liking what he's doing over there. But I feel like Thaddeus Young is like a win-now player. So if you go trade for him, you want to win now. And you see the Mavericks want to win now. They always talk about it. They want to win now. They have this generational player, and they want to win now. Maybe they're rushing the process a little bit, but I don't blame them for wanting to win now. You have this top 10 player that's only like 21 years old. So yeah, I will understand winning now, and I feel like Thaddeus Young would be a perfect player to put next to him. Like I said, the Clippers, that would be a perfect player to put at that 4 position that they really lack at. Like what's his name? Nick Batum, he's doing a decent job, but just putting Thaddeus Young in that position, taking the ball out of Kawhi's hands and Paul George's hands, because you seen it yesterday. When they're not on, they don't really have nobody else that can really score. Thaddeus Young can go in there and help them out a lot, especially on the defense and the offensive side. And just being a veteran leader on that team, he can help a lot of teams. They even said it when he was on the Pacers. He was the veteran leader. He was the leader on the Pacers. He probably was even the top 5 player on that team. He was just the leader on that team. But Thaddeus Young can go to any team and just he can really make an impact, and he can really put that team over the level. Like I said, I will really consider the Suns a contender if they get it Thaddeus Young. Another player that's on the trade market, Kyle Lowry. I don't want to talk about this a lot because I already talked about it in a video a couple weeks ago. But Kyle Lowry just came out and said he wouldn't mind going to the 76ers. And I did like a little trade machine thing, and it doesn't take that much. They're only losing, if the Sixers want to make that trade, they're only losing Danny Green. What was the trade? They're only losing Danny Green, Mike Scott, Terrence Ferguson, Tony Bradley to match the money of Kyle Lowry, which is $30 million. And to me, you're not really losing nothing. Mike Scott, his playing minutes is on and off. Terrence Ferguson and Tony Bradley, they don't get minutes at all. And Danny Green is just lost. He's so on and off. And you bring a person that can really not even forget the regular season. Kyle Lowry will help you out in the playoffs. Last year, Kyle Lowry's stats didn't jump out the window. He averaged 17-6 last season in the playoffs, but he was definitely their best player. They forced the Celtics to Game 7 in the semifinals, and he even had a game winner over Kemba Walker where he dominated in that fourth quarter. Kyle Lowry is a playoff player. I remember a couple years ago they was calling him trash in the playoffs and stuff, but nah, he's a playoff player now. The last few years, especially in the year when he won the finals, he's been having a pretty good playoffs. And like I said, you put Kyle Lowry on the 76ers, wherever Kyle Lowry goes, they're my favorite, to be honest. If you put Kyle Lowry on the 76ers, they're my favorite. Just helping out, spreading the floor. He's great in those clutch moments. He can literally guard 1 and 2. Sometimes he be guarding 3, just how physical he is. And you put him next to Ben Simmons, or you take the ball to Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid's hands, and then you don't really give up nothing. You still got your depth. You still got Tyrese Maxey, Dwight Howard, Shake Milton off the bench. You can probably go out there and get a little piece. Furkan Korkmaz, just get another little piece. Like, fuck it, go pick up Isaiah Thomas. Just do something just to make your bench longer. But yeah, if you get Kyle Lowry on that team, that team's a favorite. And like I said, if you get Kyle Lowry on the Clippers, they don't really have to give up nothing either. They have to give up Patrick Beverley, Patrick Patterson, Ivica Zubac, which is a kind of a big piece, I guess, and Luke Kennard and Daniel Toro. Daniel Toro doesn't get minutes. Luke Kennard, they kind of signed him to a big contract. I'm not gonna lie. So getting rid of that for a win now move, I will understand that, and I wouldn't be mad at that because they signed Luke Kennard to like $60 million. That's kind of crazy. Ivica Zubac is the biggest piece they're losing in this trade. He's a really decent center that gets overlooked a lot. Really good on rebounding, really good off the pick and roll, and is a decent shot blocker for this team. And that's a player that the Raptors need, so that's the main attraction of that deal. So, yeah, that's a big loss, I guess. They don't really have, the only center they really have is Serge Ibaka. So they're losing big man depth, especially when you're losing Patrick Patterson too. But yeah, and Patrick Beverley, I used to love Patrick Beverley, but he just be doing some dumb stuff. Like he be doing some grimy, dirty stuff, and I'm like, all right, bro, chill out. Like that Jeff Green stuff last week, come on now. But yeah, trading Kyle Lowry, that would just help them out in the long run. They will have a problem with depth though, because even though I just said something about Patrick Beverley, he's a big part of the team. Like I say, Ivica Zubac is a big part of the team. There's Luke Kennard starting to get it going with their team, but I'm just talking about the money. The reason why I would trade him, that's a lot of money you're buying in on Luke Kennard. But yeah, they're gonna lose a lot of depth. But free agency, buyout market, like we're definitely, if we can't trade JaVale, we're definitely gonna buy out JaVale. So JaVale's gonna choose wherever he wants to go. You can offer him a deal. But yeah, it's a lot of teams. I mean, it's a lot of teams that can use those two players, Kyle Lowry and Thaddeus Young. But another person I wanted to talk about is Kristaps. I love Kristaps to death, one of my favorite players. But I don't know. Like, they're talking about trading Kristaps, and I'm like, bro, when this duo was going, like when Kristaps like finally was getting back in the groove last year around like January to March, bro, they were unstoppable. And then even in the bubble, they were unstoppable. If Kristaps didn't get hurt, they would have won that playoff. They would have won that series against the Clippers. They would have won. And I feel like they would have beat the Nuggets too. They would have won. Just because they were already dominated when Kristaps was in the game. And then he got ejected that one game. They lost that game. And then the next 2 games they won. Or the next game they won. Then they lost the game after that. And then Kristaps got hurt. But I feel like they had the Clippers on their toes, and I feel like they could have really won that series with Kristaps. And yes, Kristaps gets hurt a lot, and then when he comes back, he's kind of a little rusty. But then when he gets in his groove, he's in his groove. And I don't know, like they want to give up on Kristaps, but I'm like, bro, I don't know if you should do that. I give it one more year. Cause like even Kristaps, he's playing decent now. He just keeps getting hurt. Like he was just out 3 games with a lower back spasm, and I understand like he does get hurt a lot. And you did invest a lot of money on him, but he doesn't really have that much value. So trading him wouldn't really be. It would be kind of pointless because you really wouldn't get that much for him. You would get like a player in the 2nd round pick for Kristaps, and that's just being honest because he doesn't have that much value because how many times he get hurt. For teams that just rebuilding and they have a couple pieces to throw at you, they'll probably give you a couple players like the Cavs. They'll give a couple players for Kristaps. I would love Kristaps. Even the Charlotte Hornets, they'll give a couple players for Kristaps. But he doesn't really have that much value. That's the main question about trading him. If Kristaps had value, he would be traded as soon as they made that news. Because it's his talent. His talent is above the roof. But he doesn't have that much value because how many times he gets hurt. But I don't know. I feel like they should just keep it going. I feel the one thing they lack is another ball handler next to Luka. Like they got Jalen Brunson. He's cool, but like a ball handler who can also score and just take some of the pressure off of Luka. Like when you see in the clutch moments, Luka has to really like do his thing because he can't really rely on anybody else. But a lot of people saying go get Zach LaVine, but like they're winning, so I don't know if they want to trade anything. People saying go get Bradley Beal. They're winning also, so I don't know if they want to trade anything. So, hey, I don't know how they can get better though. I don't know. Like I said, Thaddeus Young will be a big piece for that team though. Thaddeus Young is so underrated to me, bro. He's so underrated. Another thing I want to talk about, this fire Luke Walton, bro. I don't even want to talk about this for long. This fire Luke Walton. The Kings are terrible. They're terrible. The worst defense in the league. They just let PJ Washington score 42 points yesterday. No offense to him, but like, come on now. Like, they're terrible. De'Aaron, get out. De'Aaron, get out, bro. Save yourself. Because that organization is just terrible. Wonder why they ain't made the playoffs in a long ass time. They're terrible. I think this is my last topic. If I think about something else, I'll bring it up. But this is my last topic. I want to know why is Giannis and CP3 not in the MVP race? A lot of people's MVP race right now would be Joel Embiid, Jokic, Bron, Steph, probably Dame. Which is, hey, nothing wrong with that. But even when you go to the top 10, you don't see CP3's name at all. But you see Giannis is like 8. And I'm like, what are y'all watching? You seen yesterday, like y'all seen what Giannis did yesterday. I hope y'all watched that game. Giannis dominated yesterday. And the past few games, after that 5-game losing streak they went on, their 5-game winning streak that they just went on, Giannis, this is his 5 games. Yesterday, had 36 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, a W. Game before that, 38 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, a W. Game before that, 37 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, a W. Game before that, 38 points, 18 rebounds, 4 assists, a W. And game before that, 29 points, 19 rebounds, 8 assists, a W. Like, what? What are y'all watching? And then you even go to his stats on the year. It's not like he's having a down year. He's having better stats than he averaged last year. 29 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. But the reason why I feel like he's not on MVP race and why nobody really wants to even think about him when it comes to the MVP race is because He won it the last 2 years, and then you go to the playoffs and you don't really play like an MVP. So maybe people are tired of giving him that MVP nod, and I understand that, but like you can't deny the fact what he's doing right now. He's getting better. He's even been shooting better from the free throw line lately, and it kind of gets overlooked because like what he did the last few years, he was so dominant. But then when he got in the playoffs, he weren't that dominant. Which is understandable. It's understandable why they don't want to give him the nod. But like, come on now, he's getting better. He's looking better, averaging better numbers. Like he should definitely be around the top 5 in the MVP race. Cause I'll put him over Steph. I love what Steph's doing, but the team's just not that good. You can have an argument for Dame. That's an argument. But yeah, he should be in the top 5 in the MVP race, most definitely. And then CP3, bro. This CP3 off his name should be in the top 5. And this is the thing. This is why I say that. You put CP3 on the Thunder. Everybody, they had a 0.8% chance of making the playoffs last year. They were the 5th seed in the playoffs last year. I know the Suns were at 8-0 in the bubble. But without CP3, they're not the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. They're not. They'll probably be like around the 8th, 9th seed. But without CP3, they're not the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. Just the amount of the things he does on the court helps him out so much, and just bro, he makes teams better, bro. He does. They're 22-11. Like, why is he not in the MVP race? I understand Steph, he's having a great season, but the team is 19-16. I understand Dame is having a great season, but the team is 18-14. CP3 team is 22-11 and is the 4th seed in the Western Conference. The deep ass Western Conference. They're the 4th seed in the Western Conference. Why is he not in the MVP race? And y'all probably like, he's not the best player on the team. Bro, he made the All-Star team over Devin Booker for a reason. For a reason, bro. He made it for a reason. And you might say, oh, it's because of injuries. Bro, the last 10 games, but when that Devin Booker was out, bro, CP3 was averaging 28 points at a time. Just dominating, bro. The Suns are 13-15 in their last. They're 13. They have 13 wins in their last 15 games. Not saying that's all because of CP3, but like look what he brings. He brings his own culture. He has a winning culture just surrounded around him. Everywhere he goes, he wins. He doesn't win the big thing. Like, he don't get the championship. But like, you see what he did with the Rockets. The Rockets was like a semifinals team, but then he went there. They made the Western Conference Finals 3 years in a row, I believe. So like, bro, everywhere CP3 goes, he just wins, and I don't understand why people hate him. Like I said, they won 13 out of the last 15 games. He's been averaging 17 points, 9 assists in those games, and they had a couple big games in those games. Clutch performances. He takes over the 4th quarter. Like what do y'all talk? Like, why is he not in the top 5? I understand Curry's been playing lights out this season, but I guess that's just individual play. Like, Russell Westbrook won the MVP, and they barely made the playoffs. So I guess so. I understand. But like, bro, CP3's having an amazing year. Like, he should. If you don't want to put him in top 5, understandable. I probably wouldn't put him in top 5 either. But top 10 in the MVP race, CP3 definitely deserves it. Just off of what's he's doing with this organization is amazing, and it needs to be acknowledged, bro. It needs to be acknowledged. Another thing I wanted to say about Giannis is he gets a lot of hate for not like really being a primary scorer when it comes down to the clutch. And people say like he's not a clutch player when it comes to the 4th quarter, he's just out there. Well, this season, top 5 in 4th quarter scoring is number 5 is Joel Embiid with 7.5 points. Number 4 is Zach LaVine with 7.8 points. 3 is Damian Lillard with 7.8 points. 2 is Kevin Durant with 7.9 points. And 1 is Giannis Antetokounmpo with 8.2 points. So he's like he gets that nod. He get that nod as like people look at him like he's not clutch. Bro, you're averaging 8 points in the 4th quarter. Remember when Isaiah Thomas was averaging like 9 points in the 4th quarter? They was calling him Mr. 4th quarter. Bro, he's doing what he's doing, bro. 8 points in the 4th quarter is impressive for a person that's not clutch. Yesterday, he scored 11 out of the team's last 17 points in that game yesterday. So it was a big reason why they won, because they were down like 4 in the last 2 minutes. So like, I don't know. It's not a lot of hate you can bring to Giannis, bro. There's not a lot of stuff you can say. He's getting better at the three. He's getting better at the free throw line. I just feel like he needs to add a post game. He can go out here and shoot 32% from three for the rest of his career. But if Giannis adds a post game, bro, it's unstoppable, bro. If he adds a little fadeaway, it's unstoppable. Because it's really going to be hard to stop. If you're shooting 32% from the 3-point line as a power forward, that's respectful. Like, you have to go out there and close that out sometimes. And then you add the post game for him, and his driving ability is already like that, bro. He's gonna be unstoppable. He gotta watch some Kevin Garnett highlights, bro. Watch some Kevin Garnett highlights. Learn that footwork. Learn that little floater Kevin Garnett used to do, bro. Unstoppable. But hey, man, that's all I wanted to come into today. I had a couple of topics. I had one topic and I just forgot it. But yeah, I just wanted to come in here and talk about some stuff, man. Let me know how you feel about what I said. I felt like I had a lot of valid points. I was all over the place. I gotta start writing a script. I have ADHD bad, so like when I talk about something, I just automatically jump into something else. I gotta write a script, like so I can keep me in line, because I be struggling sometimes. But other than that, man, this is it for this video. Like and subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll be back any day this week. If we get some news, big game happens, something else, or I think about something else. Like I said, the topics seems to be coming out of nowhere. But yeah, I'll see y'all later on, probably this week, next week.